Oh, let's get ready to rumble live.
Oh, I
from
should have got that as a sound
movie.
clip, but I didn't.
Oh, that would have been good. Live
okay,
from
Ronnie.
the beach. There's Eric.
The
Eric,
beach.
you're on vacation.
I am. Not right now. I'm working right now.
Working for the man.
Working for the man. That's
Is
what
that
I
a
call
60?
Matt.
That's right. Always working. So welcome to the Movie Podium. We're a weekly podcast where we collectively choose a movie to watch, and at the end of the week, we get together and talk about it. It's kind of like a book club.
But for movies.
But for movies, guys.
This week, we chose a movie about two slacker wrestling fans devastated by the ousting of their favorite character by an unscrupulous promoter. This is not from me. This is from their IMDb. And without further ado,
I haven't heard you use that word before.
no, I don't. It's a pretty shitty word. Without further ado, we present our next movie.
Pretty shitty movie.
Jimmy King is the greatest wrestler of all time.
Wrestling's fake.
Wrestling's not fake!
Ready to rumble.
Of course, we did that. God, that's such a good part of the trailer. It's probably the best part of the movie. The only good part. What? So instead of the movie, instead of having a movie podium this week, we were inspired by our yesteryear of being nostalgic, and this being a WCW movie back when the Monday Night Wars were happening, and so we decided to go with our top 3 or our podium WCW wrestlers of all time. So
that's going to be
can't wait to see. Yeah, I'm kind of excited.
Hotly contested.
I know. I think some of us will have some of the similar answers though. But cheers. Let's hit that intro.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Ding ding.
I don't know about you all, but I'm actually trying a new beer tonight.
Oh, what are you trying?
Parsons North Brewing Company East Coast IPA.
Ooh, we're on the East Coast.
I got it at the North Market actually in Columbus.
Oh, fancy North Market.
Yeah,
Fancy.
we all know the middle of Ohio is very East Coast.
It's very East Coast.
Very.
I've never had it before. We'll find out if it's good.
Close
I'm
enough.
trying a new beer for Kevin. It's called water. You should try it.
It's because
That's pretty
it's called
tasty.
being hungover from the night before.
Not wanting to feel like ass.
Yeah, exactly. I'm your host, Matt Scott. I'm here with my dudes, Eric.
Hello.
Cooking with Kevin.
That's me.
Cooking with Kevin.
Me.
And hello, John.
Hello, John. Hello, John.
Hello, John.
Hello, John. Hello.
Hello, John. Hello.
Hello, John.
That last one gets me every time.
Oh, it's so good.
Hello.
Let's thank all our Patreon members. We really appreciate your support. For anyone who wants to join the army, we got free stickers. And you can hang out with us on Discord. Come and check us out.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you.
Dankeschön.
All right. Let's do some random ass facts. Boom, boom, boom.
Yep. You hold on. You said it too early, so now Eric's panicking. Oh wait, here, let's go.
All right.
Wait, am I on mute?
No, you were.
It mutes automatically.
Yeah. Boy, I can't wait to have some of these facts. Not really.
Listen, it seems like you don't like this movie, and I've got a real problem with that attitude.
I respect
diff-
your right to be wrong.
It's different than I remember. How about that? This was
Okay.
just a little lower than Thor at a 5.4. Not really.
Oh no.
One of the lowest we've watched. Not as bad as Arcade, but pretty low.
It's a 1.6 minus Thor. Or minus
1.6 Thor. Yeah.
There we go.
Hey,
Gotta
there's
get
some
it
good
right.
math. All right. Yay, math.
It's less than Thor 1.6.
That's right. So,
Oh my gosh, I'm so confused right now.
so Martin Landau, or Sal Bandini's character, is based on legendary wrestling coach Stu Hart.
Really?
Stu Hart was almost elderly, but he was apparently super strong and a badass, and a fraction of everyone else's, or a lot older than all the other people he would fight and wrestle, and everybody kind of just knew he was a badass. That was kind of roughly based on Stu Hart's character.
Mhm. I wondered if that was the connection when they go in and you can hear screaming from the outside, because that's how I hear all the old wrestlers that went there talked about it. They called it a dungeon, and they're like, it sounded like a medieval dungeon with screams coming out of it.
I'll be honest, I have no idea who Stu Hart is.
Father of Brett?
Yeah, father of Brett.
He's
and Owen.
Okay.
Yeah, so Bret and Owen Hart were obviously a pretty popular wrestling group. There's a lot of Harts.
Yeah.
Jim Neidhart was another relative of theirs. He was basically a legend wrestling coach. Yeah, the Anvil. So he was a wrestling coach for a lot of the 90s, 80s, 90s wrestlers. He's a legend.
Mhm.
Give it the time.
Yeah.
Duh. David Arquette.
I know his sons.
Yeah. Bret Hart. Let's talk about David Arquette for a second.
Yes.
You guys remember after this movie, during this movie, like part of the promotion was that he was a wrestler at the time. Like he actually wrestled.
Okay.
Did he win the championship at some point? I've read.
Yes, he did.
Insane.
He did.
I forget that this is a random fact outside of our group. Like within our group, like we totally know that David Arquette
it's just a normal fact.
Champion.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of a normal fact for us, but yeah, if we're like talking outside of us, our bubble of wrestling, yeah, he won the championship. But I did find a cool fact on that same topic, and it's that all of the money that WCW was supposed to pay him, or in lieu of any money that he was receiving or going to receive, he instead gave all of his WCW earnings to the family of deceased wrestler Brian Pillman.
Oh, nice.
That was
Isn't that cool?
Very cool.
Yeah,
It is cool.
Yep. Another funny one is the Jimmy King betrayal by his own son Frankie. Anybody recognize that storyline from something else in WCW? John?
The David Flair angle?
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's based on the storyline with Ric Flair and his oldest son, David Flair.
So they're probably like, damn, that sucked. Let's try and do it again better.
Polar Knights is back.
Oh, yeah, awesome. Oh, there we go. The evolution is back. We're still trying to grow him out, you know? John's got a little goatee over there. Like, it's a little bit growing out.
My
Is that just your...
landing strip? Or
Yeah.
Could be the shadow.
I guess WWE superstar. I don't know why I have to preface that other than I'm just reading. John Cena is in this movie.
That was a fact.
He's seen in the background where Goldberg, in the gym scene, where Goldberg, we see Goldberg for the first time.
It's his film debut.
Oh, is that in the tunnel of the show?
When it's in the gym.
Yeah, the gym. Like when they're asking Goldberg to help.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's just an extra in the background.
See Goldberg, but I missed it either way. Guess I'll have to go back and watch it a seventh time.
Yeah, same. 100% same.
A couple more here. We'll go with there was plans to do a sequel. Darn.
Yes.
They never materialized. I guess apparently the purpose of this entire film was because at the time of this movie, WCW was like starting to go down on the decline of their popularity. And this was their attempt to get fans to come back to WCW.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good
and
attempt.
making David Arquette their champion, which
That one
didn't help things.
maybe not the best idea.
Why not?
There's a lot of good wrestling ones, but I'll finish with this one because this is interesting that there was an alternative ending or an alternate ending. I guess DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, said that he tried to pitch an alternate ending for this movie to Warner Brothers. DDP, on the creative.
This is definitely something a pro wrestler would do.
Yeah.
That
So
doesn't
what
work for me, bro.
Right. So what would have happened was that after the triple cage match was over, after the end credits start to roll, Jimmy King would be telling Gordy and Sean that he'd see him at the bar before heading back to his dressing room to get changed. When he's going back to the dressing room to get changed, he sees DDP waiting for him. Just as the two wrestlers look like they're about to fight again, they actually hug each other. This is apparently real, with DDP forgiving King for throwing him through all three cages. Then John and Gordy enter the dressing room and are shocked to discover that King and DDP are friends. DDP then walks up to the two and says, "Boys, welcome to the business. Let's have a drink."
Oh my gosh.
And then
I kind of like that ending.
to
I read that, and I kind of like that ending. It's kind of fun.
I'm glad that you noted the fact that he had just taken that huge bump through.
through three cages.
I forgive you for throwing me through those three cages.
Oh yeah, I hope you don't mind that I totally double crossed you, like at the start
Right.
of all this.
Pretty ridiculous.
That's a solid pitch by DDP. I'm surprised they didn't go with it.
Yeah. All right. One last one. Sorry, I'm gonna add on to that. How many nut shots were in this movie? You think?
6.
Are you including the outtakes and the credits? Because they have a whole thing in the credits of nut
Ooh,
shots.
good question. I'll say no on that. Just in the
Okay.
movie.
I'm gonna say.
I'll say 5.
I was gonna say 5, so I'll do 6 and go over.
Yeah, it's 6. You got Kevin probably read it.
I did.
What the fuck, Kevin?
Yeah. Okay.
I think
Okay,
three of them were for the King. I think.
Yeah.
Boo
Yeah.
this man.
Boo this man.
Kevin wants
Matt and
the
I
heel
are
heat.
probably reading the
He
same
wants the
thing.
heel heat. Oh yeah, probably. All right, let's get into some questions.
Let's.
Oh,
Favorite
are we
thing
going-
about the movie? You can go first, Kevin. What were you gonna say too? On top of
I'm about to say I forgot that we did the intro, but
We did.
the main thing I liked was actually the cage match, because the cage match is one of my favorite matches in wrestling. That and TLC, and you kind of get that with the cage match.
yeah.
So,
Nice.
That
And
was
this
my
is just
favorite thing.
3 cages stacked one another.
Which
It's like
apparently
yeah,
they
that's-
did twice.
a birthday cage, a birthday cake match.
A wedding cage.
That's a good answer, John. The rings.
I mean, just that it's generally about wrestling. That's the obvious answer.
Good answer. Yeah, I think that's a pretty obvious answer. I'll go on or add on to that because I obviously have something similar. I guess from just a nostalgic standpoint, when this movie came out, we were like just out of the WCW phase. I think like it was kind of, we hit like 6th or 7th grade maybe when this came out. Like I remember watching this movie and watching the David Arquette saga, and that was like kind of the end of when we watched WCW. But like I go back to that era where it was like every Monday night we had to watch Nitro. Before, like it was more Nitro than Raw for our group, or at least most of us. And it was just something that we did every Monday. Like it mattered pretty much more than anything for like a 2-year period or whatever that like short window was. it was like everything. I mean, really, like every Monday. So just bringing that nostalgic feel back, and of course about wrestling and getting to see all of those wrestlers we used to watch, and half of them aren't even alive anymore. But it is crazy to like go back and see some of those guys were in a movie, you know. So that was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Eric, what would you say?
I like all of yours. I just said I liked how dumb the main characters were. Like,
Oh my god, it's
just
fucking it's like Dumb and
idiots.
Dumber all over again.
Yeah.
but bad.
No, it's
Yeah.
not bad.
It's just
It was amazing. I don't know what the hell your problem is, Kevin or Matt. John and I are on the same side.
Let's tag team match.
Oh yeah, I kind of like, just to add on to Eric and connect it with just it being generally about wrestling, and the storylines in wrestling can just be stupid, and it's like, all right, I'm okay with this mindless stupidity. Right.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Like they, I guess the other thing that to just finish up on this is they do a great job of writing the line of it being real and fake, and like they joke about it. You know what I mean? Like it's something they don't actually take offense to. They almost mock it as the idea, and so like they do a good job of towing that line in a funny, positive way.
Yeah, for sure.
Not a sad and depressing way like the other movies that we see that are wrestling that I like.
Matt loves the wrestler.
I do love the wrestler. Also, Iron Claw.
Oh yeah, I forgot Iron Claw. I didn't watch
Great.
that one because it's going to be super depressing.
Yeah,
It's not happy.
they even
It's really good,
basically just ignored even one of the brothers' deaths in the whole movie. They're like, all right,
it's
we
too
get
much.
it. Like, having
I
another
actually-
death is not going to add to this.
I actually like the wrestler more though, just because there is like good scene. Like Iron Claw is like very serious and very sad. At least like in the wrestler, there are the cool scenes, like the bloody scene, like the like hardcore match, and some of the music, and like he does have a good time. Zac
Like,
Efron's character
out
does
all
not.
night banging that stripper on cocaine.
Yeah, that's a better time than Zac Efron getting told by his dad to get better and better and better, and that's all that matters is to keep wrestling.
Yeah, better
If there's
time than
nothing
having
else.
your guts rupture overseas in Japan because you're working too hard.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's get to the least favorite thing, and not about that movie, but about Ready to Rumble. All right, let's hear Kevin's least favorite.
I have two. The script did not age well. And then on top of that, this movie was obviously made for teenage boys.
Yeah.
And my wife we actually watched it last night on her birthday.
On her birthday?
On her birthday. You want to watch a movie that neither one of us have seen. And it was we did a lot of things over the weekend, so we kind of splurged on the
we
weekend.
did a lot of things.
So it's like, it's a work night. We're not going to do much, and I convinced her to watch this movie last night, and I really feel bad about it.
I feel like she likes this movie though. She didn't like it.
She goes, "It's very cheesy."
Yeah,
and it was obviously for teenage boys from 20 years ago.
That part. I say she likes cheesiness though.
Yeah, but it wasn't good cheese. It's that's where the poorly written script that doesn't hold up today. I mean, it's like American Pie level. Like
I think American Pie is a little more funny though. Though I haven't seen it in a while, so
I would say it's probably better than this
while.
movie, but it's still on the same level.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll have to explore that one next.
Yeah,
or soon.
Was this your? How many times have you seen this before, Kevin?
No, that was the first time I.
Oh,
wow. Okay, popped your cherry.
It might be why I'm not nostalgic for it.
On your wife's birthday night.
Yeah, I only saw this 25.
Happy
birthday.
Watching Ready to Rumble.
John, what was your favorite or least favorite?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I guess it was too dumb where I'm just like, what the hell? Like, how did this happen? Or, like, um, kind of, like, lost me at the end, big surprise. But, like, some of the things just seem sort of like gag after gag after gag. But, yeah, I'm pretty much criticizing this thing I said I liked, but I'm like, man, I guess one thing in particular is David Arquette screaming got a little
It's
old.
ridiculous. It's too much for me.
So yeah, just sometimes a little bit too much of a good thing.
Yeah, that's fair. It's a good answer. Eric, what would you say?
The fact that they're eating lunch directly by dripping shit.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty nasty.
And don't they have shit on their hand?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
I think they
sewage
do
water.
Several things where
Well-
they make it like so they're close to the shit, like wiping their nose after they.
I am still laughing that Kevin watched this.
Yeah,
birthday.
I thought that part was hilarious. I know the scene you're talking about where there's that like nozzle just dripping.
Yeah, it's just dripping. And it's also
and he's like reaching under it, like I got you one too, dude.
when he's like wicked. No, what would King do? So dumb.
I would obviously echo the sentiment of it being a little too dumb for me. I don't remember like half of it, so because it's been a while, and so
It's been a while.
Right
so,
on
like,
cue.
I just didn't remember it being that dumb.
It was pretty fucking dumb.
It's almost like we were dumb back then.
Well, so a couple of things on that. First, I think there are movies that can be dumb and funny. I just didn't really think this hit the mark for me on the humor. And then the other thing is I did watch this with the kids, and all the like, stuff that you'd think that, I mean, that all went over their head. Like they liked it because of wrestling. So like a test to the age group it was trying to hit, it also hit the younger kids who just want to watch wrestling and fight and go downstairs and jump on couches and do flips. Like it hit for them too.
Give Cohen and Miles 10 more years and then look at this movie a whole different way.
Oh, for sure. Well, until then, I hope it doesn't fly by too fast. But like, yeah, so I think it was fine for that age group. Now I'm like, oh my God, this is just not funny. David Arquette's super annoying the entire movie. Scott Caan, he's fine actually. He's a good sidekick. And there are some good characters in here. Like the Sal Baldino is like a classic character.
Yeah,
I think he's funny. I just don't think the movie's that funny.
Oh,
Or
I
good.
love Sal
Or good.
Bandini. Like, I think he's probably the best character, and
Oh yeah,
the
by
actor
far.
who played him is like a very good actor. And I'm like, how the hell did they get this guy in this movie for this?
Apparently,
His
Jack.
name, Landau,
Um,
Martin Landau.
yeah, that's it. Apparently, Jack Palance was gonna be. They tried to get Jack Palance, who is the guy in the original Batman that the Joker takes over for. Do you remember him? He's the beginning, like at the beginning of the movie. That's Jack Palance.
You're my number one.
Yeah, that's him. So that's who was supposed to be, which would have been pretty sweet too.
Yeah.
All right, next category. Who won the belt? I mean, the movie. I still have my notes from last week. I said Meryl Streep. I guess I'll start and say I think it's probably David Arquette / WCW. Now again, they didn't actually win because this was apparently start of the downfall, but I will also say it was probably the crest of the entire popularity of WCW and David Arquette by a mile. I mean, has he ever been more relevant than this era, this like time frame, this movie? Like,
Yeah.
no way, right?
He has in Scream though, so like
Yeah,
that was
we'll get there. We'll
Scream.
get there.
But like, I
Right, sorry.
just think that like for us, I think that he probably won the movie in the movie and outside the movie, right?
Jimmy King won the movie.
I'm gonna
Why is
agree
that?
with Kevin.
All right, why is that?
Because it was literally, he was at the top, hit rock bottom, and he came back up and got on top again.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean,
Literally and figuratively.
yeah,
That's right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they did attack him. John?
No,
a full
with
mask.
abuse addiction as well. So
Oh, yeah. That's it.
What addiction did he have?
alcohol.
Oh.
And what, I'm sure there was more things involved with that too.
Painkillers, probably. Right.
Yeah, I like when they show up, they finally find him in the Winnebago, and he's like, "Are you those nice boys from the pharmacy?" Like, I'm thinking, oh, that's his steroids.
We can't have any more, John. I said one, but we have to wait until the line. The line
Yeah.
section.
Oh.
Yeah.
But yes, you're right.
My, the winner for me is the Shermanator.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I forgot he's in this.
I don't know
Speaking of
what his
American
name was
Pie.
in this movie, but the guy with the little arcade cabinet that's
Yeah.
he's somehow an internet whiz and helps him find Jimmy King, and without him, none of this would be possible.
That's a
Quiet.
good
His
answer.
dad's in the other room.
Yeah, my dad says yakking on the phone is the
We have to wait for the line
I
section.
know.
I'm sorry, I brought that up. I did watch the movie. Hey, that even shows it.
We gotta figure out what's next week. All right, before we get to that though, let's go with our favorite song moment or score scene. Damn you, Eric.
I
We
know.
all know what the answer is.
It's Running with the Devil, sung by the Nuns.
It sure is. By a mile. Like the acoustic. Oh my god. It's so good. That's probably, I mean, that's the best scene in the movie too for me.
Break it down, sister.
I love the one.
Right.
It was
It's
one
so
nun.
dumb too.
Yeah, one nun like kind of got excited for a moment. There's really one really quick scene early on, and then she's the one that is like takes the lead
Yeah.
with the like. I can't remember that exact look on her face, but you could tell like she was into it, and while the other nuns were kind of hesitant.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's such a good scene.
She's got a Van Halen record hidden under her bed at the convent.
Yep.
The boys were definitely jamming when that came on too. I mean, they
Heck
were
yeah.
like, yeah, this is rock and roll. Or
Yeah,
also-
then they go into the
actual song,
Van
yeah.
Halen.
Yeah.
It's also
Hell
a
yeah.
song that I always force Eric to play if we haven't played music together for a while.
Yeah.
It's a
And
good
just
That's
kind
a
of a
good one.
nod, and then
Yeah.
I got Johnny over here. Just hey, is it an E? Like
It's
just
an E.
play
Yeah.
play an A.
Then it switches to A.
Yeah.
It's E.
Yeah, that's
It's like just
good
do
one
that
to
over and over again.
Oh, and ask
and
me
then
to-
just
he actually asked me to play that today. That's kind of funny to say
But-
that.
I
Oh,
want
yeah?
to say, oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, they were wrestling in the basement and I was playing rock and roll so they could wrestle. All right, so I guess I'll take Cowboy by Kid Rock. I have to.
That's your favorite karaoke song.
It's my anthem. Oh yeah, you were with me at that, right, Eric?
Mm-hmm.
My grandpa's restaurant, I sang Cowboy in front of
Yeah.
like
Rogers.
70-year-olds.
It went really well.
Uncensored. Whoops. Let it all hang out.
That's a good choice, though.
Yeah. All right, Kevin, what would you say?
I had one just because it's funny. Lit.
Oh, of
and
course.
Yep.
It's only because there's a running joke with my wife and my coworkers. Whenever I put on a music app and I just have a playlist made for me, that song is always on that playlist. I have never
for you.
I've never in my life searched for that song in the app, but it's always linked to everything.
It's totally like your answer.
You don't need to.
I
anymore.
can see that being your song.
Yeah, that is a Kevin song.
Have you liked it yet, or does it just this is your song?
It just keeps adding it to every playlist, like your daily mix 1, 2, 3, or your 2000s rock mix, or hell, it's even on the Jimmy World playlist mix. Like it's on every list that there is, of every list that's just created for me.
They know you.
So I just automatically laughed as soon as that song came on. I'm like, are you shitting me? This is on this movie.
Yeah, they played it like twice too.
Yeah,
It was
two or
awesome.
three times.
Yeah.
It's like in what's the movie that they play Damn It a lot? Bubble Boy.
Oh, damn, it's on Bubble Boy. I forgot about that.
John's favorite. What would you pick? What
Harlan
song
Williams?
would you pick, John?
Oh, I agree that it's Running with the Devil is the best, but another one I liked is at the beginning. It's some opera song, and it's just the intro of the movie. It's universally known that wrestlers are the best athletes in the universe. Over some opera song, and it's just news clippings and like stuff like what you would see sort of at the beginning of The Wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Just like wrestling flyers, heroes of time. But no, it's Running with the Devil, acoustic, sung by nuns.
Yeah.
And then goes into the album version.
Right. All right. Let's see. Next category: favorite line from the movie. Let's see. All right, fine. Let's go to Eric. Back to you.
Sal Bandini, want to wrestle?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, John. I know that one is
Those
up
are.
at top for you.
I was gonna say. I think we hear John all the time saying that.
Yeah.
I only have one.
I thought you were going to talk about because I mentioned the Shermanator's dad calling him a pussy. I thought you were going to say the line where David Arquette, they're at the arcade cabinet, and he says something. Oh yeah, puking's for pussies.
Yeah.
David Arquette says, I puke all the time, and I'm not a pussy. I just thought the whole thing was funny, just how they're like childishly trying to like flex on each other.
It's so funny.
I said when Gordy says we're going back to the basics to find our heart, and Sasha's like, "Can I come?" and Gordy's like, "No, because you don't have one."
Bam.
Yeah.
Denied.
What else you got?
I would say I have tonight we rejoice. We rejoice with the king and his motor castle.
Yeah. Very good.
I've got.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's a lot of glare coming off that dome of yours. Squirrel nuts. So stupid.
That's so bad.
Did you go, Matt?
Yeah, I did. I have one more though.
Oh.
When Sean's like, "How's my hair look, finesse?" and Gordy's like, "Bro, you're driving a truck full of ass juice. I wouldn't worry about your hair."
I remember that one.
John, you got any more? I know you've got a couple.
I have one from Sal Bandini, and he's in the hospital after getting beat up by Sid Vicious. Well, mainly Sid Vicious because he has Perry Saturn in a hold.
Yeah.
But he tells them when they show up for him, "My balls are in my throat. My prostate's the size of a watermelon." Shit. That's the third part of it. And I'm crapping tapioca. I feel like a kid again. Classic.
Did you have any more?
So good. I had another one. It was, let's see. It was, hey, shit boys, how's the shit work?
Yeah.
So
I've been working the jackhammer.
Yeah, there's a lot of dumb ones like wakey wakey, hands off snakey.
Yep.
It's a pretty dumb one. Oh man. Any others before we go on?
That's all I got.
All right. Next category. Does this movie get made now? Well, not with WCW.
No.
Is AEW at the? Are they falling down now? Is that what needs to be relevant?
Well, yeah, I
They're
feel
kind
like
of
they're
falling apart a little bit.
yeah.
They got a lot of talent.
Yeah, I think Tony Khan doesn't have control of all the wrestlers, basically.
Yeah,
Control.
they just kind of do their own thing. I will say, I think it would be a great movie, though. Like, I'd love to see a new wrestling movie that was fun and exciting instead of the sad side of it. You know,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
it'd be fun to have John Cena or something in it.
Yeah, I don't know if they could do something like this one though. Especially they'd have to completely change their humor.
Well, yeah, I don't. Sure, but like the idea of like a top, you know, a hero wrestler getting screwed over and the like two unrealistic fans or whatever, you know, come to rescue him and he's in the dump because he got fired from WWE or something. Like that would be cool. You know, like the storyline would be cool. I agree the humor's got to change, but you know, obviously that evolves, but like the storyline's pretty funny.
Yeah, part of I think, not that this movie was any good or anything, but they had their wrestling angle basically going along with kind of the angle with this movie, which is like, yeah, it's a show, but you know, some parts are real.
Yeah, that's what I like. Like that is something I like about it.
So I don't know if anybody's doing that angle now in wrestling that would
I don't know.
do this movie. So yeah, I for sure will take any wrestling movie they'll make, but
yeah, exactly. I
don't know how much of one like this one would
there was a one that came out a couple years ago. John, maybe your boys have watched it. Can't remember the name of it, but it was like some little kid becomes WWE wrestler. Like I don't know how, but he becomes the champion of the world or something. Like he has magic powers or something, like Netflix or Peacock.
Yeah, I think
it's WWE sponsored or whatever.
Yeah, because I found them
not good.
Well, yeah, watching stuff on Netflix like The Big Show and
nice.
Yeah, some other stuff.
So yeah, I think it could get made, but it has to be in better taste. Is that better, Kevin?
Yeah, I think so.
I actually said
that. I think that's my least favorite thing about this movie is the script is so bad and just
sure.
You don't like when he does the butt finger thing?
That's the least offensive thing.
I said that I don't think it gets made because I don't think the wrestling industry has enough humor in it to like make fun of itself now. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but to me, like it seems like WWE is taking everything like way too seriously. And like,
yeah, you're right.
I don't think they would ever do that. To like do that, meaning like make fun of the wrestling industry as a whole.
Right.
Yeah, no, I agree. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's kind of like
that's a good
where
point.
they were at that point as a company, is they had like Vince Russo, who wasn't a wrestling guy,
right?
making these angles. And to the rest of the wrestling industry, like Eric said, that was taboo to be like, oh, you're exposing the business. But now it's kind of, everyone's smart now.
Yep.
But it's a good point, Eric.
Yeah. No, I like that. Yeah, I like that retort. No, definitely. Good point. All right. Let's move on to most rewatchable scene. I think it was the nuns playing Running with the Devil.
Yeah.
At least for me.
I'm gonna say the scene where Sting kicks DDP off the top of the cage.
I forget that he just shows up for 2 seconds. Classic Sting.
Yeah.
Oh, how about at the end of the nun scene when after they drive away? Just kind of noted the scene where Sean asked Gordy how many times he farted in there. None, and they're like, they were the farting nuns.
I thought those would be like a band name or something for them.
Right.
But the best scene is the motorcycle ramping into the arena. I don't know how anybody else didn't see that.
That's true.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
That's true. Also the triple cage match. I mean,
yeah.
That's kind
of that was ramping into the triple cage match.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. That whole scene, I guess, would be pretty rewatchable.
Oh, DDP's bump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would kill someone, and they're like, "Oh, he took a heck of a spill."
And that was before Mankind, right around Mankind doing Hell in the Cell. Maybe right after.
Before.
Was before?
Oh wait, no, just after.
I want to say after. Hell in the Cell was like 98, and this was like 99, right. I think.
This movie is 2000.
Oh, 2000. So yeah, I think it was a little before, or this was a little after Mankind took some fun bumps as well. So they probably just stole the idea. Except then they were just stealing ideas from each other.
Yeah.
They're like, we can do this a lot safer on the silver screen.
Right, exactly.
We were watching it, and that part came up, and I told Julie that there was an actual match where the guy got thrown off the top of the cage. He got carried out on a stretcher, and then he came back off the stretcher up to the top of the cage again, and then got slammed through the cage. And she's just like, oh my God.
It's not
it really
fake.
It's not fake.
All right. Let's move on to the answers, Dave. Who is the most likely to be the off-screen drunk?
Sorry, I had one more A-B repeat, and that was them flipping over their truck full of ass juice.
Oh yeah,
because they're like crying on the way. Goddamn
allergies. And then later, like the toilet paper hits, and it's like, that was some wacky pie in the face stuff.
Yes, it was.
They do get splashed full on with like raw sewage, and then they get cut and they're like clean of the raw sewage. So that was kind of disappointing, but still a good scene.
Yeah.
All right, who's the drunk?
It's Dave.
Well,
Dave.
It's not Kevin.
Actually, I admitted on this one it was me watching this movie.
Oh yeah. While watching, you were off screen. That's fair. I mean, if I had to go with the person, it's probably Jimmy, right? Jimmy King.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's on screen for sure.
Screen though.
Fair.
He's on screen, behind stage, on stage.
Yeah,
he's everywhere.
Perry Saturn, then, or any of the alcoholics.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say, take your pick at any of the wrestlers, pretty much.
I loved when they were partying at the Motor Castle, and Gordy and his love interest, I forget his name, are talking, and they're like, they're like, "Isn't he great? He's the best." And it cuts to Jimmy is like sitting on like the step of his motor castle, like chugging a gallon of wine.
That's a. I want to say it might have been a gallon of whiskey.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was like that Carlo Rossi. But yeah, he goes hard.
Yeah.
He was like doing shots and raw eggs.
Yeah. Then it got super slapstick by him falling in the fucking sewer.
Oh yeah.
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 I mean, I feel like any of the wrestlers,
Yeah. I think
Pretty
that's
much.
the real answer here.
and of the wrestlers who were actually in the movie who actually are professional wrestlers.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I would agree with that. I mean, if we're being-
DDP.
yeah, I mean, he
Yeah.
was he born again or not? I mean, I know he founded DDP yoga and like became a health.
Yeah, he's like all super healthy now, but I don't know about
But back
then.
then he was not. I mean, that was kind of his thing, right? He turned into that because he knew he was trashing his body. I mean, good for him, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was one of those guys
Yeah.
trashing their bodies at the time.
Yeah, I think that pretty much goes with the business. They're like, gotta
Yeah.
mask the pain.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, I only imagine. All right, let's cast our friends.
Who wants to go first?
Let's go, Kevin. Yeah, anybody?
I didn't get anybody on this one.
I
Let's
got
see,
everyone.
Okay. All right,
you
Eric.
really?
Please.
Go,
I got-
Eric.
I
Me?
got something. But
Okay.
yeah, Eric.
Matt is the Macho Man Randy Savage because he's always the Macho Man Randy Savage at everything.
Yeah.
I said John is Gordy because he's always down to play into the storyline and just
Nice.
soak it up. Also, I think John probably has those brain freeze moments where he's wrestling Macho Man Randy Savage. I said Dave is Sting because he's going to be the one to strategically play his cards, you know, hanging out in the background.
Hmm.
But then at the right moment, he's going to kick you off the cage. I said Kevin is Gordy's dad because he's a cop and he's just trying to keep everyone in line. And then I said I'm Goldberg because I'm bald.
Oh my God. I also had you as Goldberg. I'll follow up on that. So I actually picked everybody as wrestlers.
Yeah.
I picked Eric as Goldberg because bald. I had John as Rey Mysterio because of just being crazy and doing actual wrestling moves and you know actually doing a Hurricanrana in person.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I've seen it. I had Kevin as Kidman just because I think it's funny.
Billy Kidman.
The ring attire too is very Kevin-like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which one's Kidman?
He's the guy with the white sleeveless
Just a
shirt
white
and
beater.
the jean shorts.
I think he was in Ring
okay.
Shoulder length black hair.
kind of a high flyer.
yeah, he's
yeah.
small.
No, okay.
He's
Okay.
small. He's a
That'd be great.
cruiserweight.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably the smallest guy out there too. And then I had Dave as David Arquette as the wrestler. Just as I feel like he'd be loud if he was in the ring.
Yeah, he could be. Yeah.
Yeah. John, what about you?
My only casting I could really come up with was Kevin as Sal Bandini. 'Cause he's an old-fashioned fella.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That is funny.
All right, two more. All right, not even sure how to tackle this one. Is this a podium role for any of the top billed cast members? I mean, I would say yes. A majority yes, right? Is there anybody that you'd say no for?
I put
Yes.
no for the top three that I
For David Arquette?
Yeah.
Okay, other than
Enlighten us.
Scream, what else would you have?
Rob had never been kissed.
What was the first one?
Never Been Kissed. He plays Rob.
Oh,
And Never
right.
Been Kissed.
Oh, okay.
And then the other, Dewey and Scream's the first one.
Sure.
And I also put him as Carter in Airheads is my number 3 movie.
Oh, I don't even remember. That's got to be a small role, right?
He's like the crazy dude in the studio with the guys that
Oh,
supports
yeah.
him.
He's the surfer guy.
Yeah, he's a surfer guy in Airheads. It's just like supports. Like, yeah, man.
That's very small, like supporting role.
But
yes.
Yeah.
That role was way better than this. But so that's why
Personal
no for
podium. Disclaimer on that one.
Yeah, he won the fucking championship because of this movie. This
Yeah.
has to be on his podium.
I didn't know
I mean,
he
this
won the
is the
championship because of this movie until I watched this movie and then looked up facts. That's I knew him
you
in
didn't
Carter
watch
and
wrestling
Airheads
as much.
before I knew this.
That's funny. You did not watch wrestling as much as
No,
we
I
did
didn't.
No.
then. I mean, I think it's the top of his podium just because it's like what everybody. I mean, this was his lead role again. Like everybody knew him from this in that era, at least.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
No, well,
Most
you
people,
are the
Kevin.
I
minority.
knew him from those other 3 movies in this era when this.
At least you didn't say eight-legged freaks.
No, I didn't. No, that movie sucks. I have seen that. Though.
I guess Oliver Platt. I mean, he's actually an actual actor.
Is Oliver Platt the Titus Sinclair?
No, he's Jimmy King.
He's Jimmy.
Oh,
King.
okay, yeah. Yeah, I just said no for him because I know that he's an actual actor that's done other things.
Yeah.
Same with
He was in Three Musketeers was a big one
Okay.
of his.
Bicentennial Man's a fun one. I brought that up before.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a good character actor in a lot of movies too. Like you see him in things.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
But
Dr.
nothing.
Doolittle.
Oh God, Dr. Doolittle. Yeah, I mean, so he's okay. I don't know. There's none of these guys. I'm not a huge fan of really any of the actors. I mean, Scott Caan is good.
Who's the Titus Sinclair guy? I don't know his name.
Titus Sinclair.
The owner, like the shot caller.
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah. Joe
Oh,
Pantiolano.
Okay.
yeah, he's the cop guy.
Yeah, he's in
Bad Boys.
Memento. Oh,
that
and
what
Bad
you
Boys. He's Bad Boys. He's a cop in every movie, basically.
He's
a
in
cop in
The
Memento.
Matrix as well. Yeah, he's in The Matrix. It's
Yeah.
funny because earlier in the
guess
day,
I'd say no, man.
earlier in the day we were watching The Fugitive, and he's in that movie.
He's in that. Yeah,
He's a cop in that movie. Yes, he's a cop in that
he's
movie.
a cop in like every movie.
Yeah, but he's so
That's
good
a
in it.
solid point. Oh yeah, no, that's true.
So I would say no for him.
Okay, maybe I would agree with that one.
And Christina Ricci, I don't think it's hers.
Oh yeah, you know what? Never mind. I definitely would say no to him. He's in the Goonies. That's right. He's one of the bad guys. In the
Yeah, one of the
Goonies.
brothers.
Yep.
Oh shit.
You said who, Eric?
Christina Ricci.
Oh, it's not Christina Ricci. It's
Oh, is
Rose
it not?
McGowan.
Rose McGowan. Oh,
Let's say
shoot.
Christina Ricci's in this movie.
Rose McGowan. Okay. That was my bad. I accidentally hit the mouse.
She was in Planet Terror, Grindhouse. She was in the movie Jawbreaker, if you remember that movie. She's probably most famous for being married to Marilyn Manson.
Okay.
That's who she's was married to.
Quite an accomplishment.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
I was gonna go back with is it Scott Caan or Scott Conn? Someone.
I don't know. It's James
Caan.
Caan's son.
So it's
He's,
Scott.
he's in
James
Oceans. He's in the Oceans movies. He's in Varsity Blues, Gone in 60 Seconds. So maybe I'd say no on this one. I didn't do a ton of research, but more I think about it. Yeah, I'd say maybe no actually for everybody but David Arquette.
Because like with him, it was I immediately texted you guys before I even realized who he was in the movie, and because he's like right at the beginning of the movie, and I texted you guys we should have watched Gone in 60 Seconds.
That'd be awesome.
And then the
We
other
do
ones,
need
like
to
when I
find
see
movies.
that face, when I see him, I didn't know his name beforehand. It was that Gone 60 Seconds, Ocean's 11, and Me the State. Like those are the three movies I think of when I see him.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think of the Ocean's movies for sure. One of the drivers.
He did Hawaii 5-0 from 2010 to 20.
Oh, that's right.
He
Yeah,
also
the show.
Not the TV podium.
I'm sorry.
Right.
Look at Eric's shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
Not that,
Oh yeah, I love teal.
Not that Hawaii 5-0 is good or anything, but he had a solid gig for 10 years.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Well, now it's time for the main event. The millions
Let's get ready to
watching at
rumble.
home. Or
I
whatever.
ruined it for you. I'm sorry
For
about
the
that.
thousands in attendance and the
Yeah,
millions,
the
watching
millions
around the
watching
world.
around. Yeah, let's do it. So our final category is our top 3 or our podium WCW wrestlers of all time. Kevin, you can do the honor.
Yeah, I'm sorry I stepped on your foot for the rolling up on the let's get ready to rumble.
You're good.
Mine might have a little bit of controversy, so I'm just going to say this is purely from playing video games, WCW video games back in the day.
It's your podium.
That's fine.
I cannot remember a single WCW match, and so my number 3 is Booker T.
Nice.
Because I love the scissor
Solid
kick.
choice.
That was a
Yep.
fun
Oh,
one
yeah.
to do on games.
Yep.
Number 2 is Cactus Jack. Other people might know him as McFoley. Or
Was he
Yeah.
in WCW?
He was in WCW.
as
Yeah, he
Cactus
was.
Jack? I double checked
Yes.
this.
Yep.
And
Very small time, but he was.
Okay, yeah.
my number 1's definitely going to. I should be booed for this, but purely for the video games of WCW.
We know.
It'll be Chris Benoit because that was my favorite character to play on video games before how terrible a thing he did. So
Yeah.
let's take it at that.
It's your list.
It's
That's
your
my
list.
list.
It's a wrestling podium, not
Yeah. Not
being
a good
decent
person
human
podium.
being.
It's like Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame because he was a good baseball player.
Yeah, P person.
All right, John.
So there's a lot.
So
and it was
many.
hard for me to
It's
There's
very
so
difficult.
distill my favorite 3. And in fact,
Very
my
difficult.
number 3, I didn't even like him that much, but he was WCW and like their driving force. So I have to give it up for Goldberg.
Nice. I
Yeah,
figured.
man, Eric. I'm the only guy in color. on that
Well, because you have a Raven on there.
three. Yeah.
thought you were gonna
Nobody.
say Raven.
Oh wait, there's my number 2.
Nice.
I've got 2 on there. Booker T because he's
Well, yeah.
he
Yeah.
kind of came up in WCW.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think he was just starting to get big when the company went, all.
Yeah. Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
And my number
Yeah.
1 is Sting.
Nice.
Yeah.
I just thought it was the coolest angle. Totally ruined by Hulk Hogan.
As things tend to get.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's my
For
podium.
sure. Nice. Eric.
Okay, this one's really difficult for me. I went through like the list in my head, and then I went on Wikipedia to see like what wrestlers were in there. So I was a big cruiserweight fan.
Mm.
So my list is
Yeah.
heavily catered
Nice.
towards that.
Nice.
But number 3 is John's number 1, and that's Sting
Nice.
because he's awesome.
Yep.
And when he joined the Wolfpack, which everyone was in, I guess,
Red Sting. Great.
Red Sting, yeah, it's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
So that's number 3. Number 2 is Ultimo Dragon.
Yes. Loved Ultima Dragon.
Great choice.
Yeah, Ultimo Dragon is fucking sick.
He almost
He
made
was-
mine.
It was fun to play on the video games. I'll say that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got all the
games.
flips. Yeah, he's got all the kicks to the head.
Yeah.
He's got the
Everything.
He's got the kicks.
Yep. And then number one was my favorite wrestler as a kid because his mask I loved, and that's Juventud Guerrera.
Oh hell yeah!
And his
Love
finisher
Hoovy.
was the Hoovy. His finisher was the 450. So like he got up on the top, he did a flip and then another half flip.
Yeah,
Did you
he
see
did a
him in
good
this movie?
hurricanrana off the top.
No
too.
mask, just like Rey
What'd you say?
Mysterio. You saw Juventud Guerrera in this movie, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
he was
yeah.
in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No mask. Him and
No
Ray
mask.
lost their mask because
That was
Yeah, I was gonna say
after
that was
what,
the era where they
Kevin
lost the
Nash?
mask. Yeah.
yeah,
Did
those
Kevin Nash do that?
bastards.
Yeah. Yeah, he's in it. Yeah, awesome. So I almost said Ultimate Dragon. Ones that we haven't mentioned that feel like they should get a shout out. Ric Flair is not on my list.
Yeah.
My list was also kind of just from the who were my favorites as a kid, not necessarily like as I've gotten older who I appreciate more. I went with who I thought of as a kid, who I wanted to watch.
Yeah.
Some other ones that didn't make the cut. Buff Bagwell was fun. Dean Malenko.
Yes.
Nobody did say Macho Man, including me.
Not in anyone's
Actually.
podium.
Yeah, I feel like he was more WWE.
Matt-
I was conscious of that.
Matt, you gotta give us your top three because there are tons of wrestlers that I want to mention, but I don't know if they're on your list.
Oh, fine. All right. So one person made, or no, actually, he didn't make Eric's. Nobody made all three, or nobody made all four podiums, actually.
Wow.
So, which is pretty interesting. But only one person made three. Or no, two people made three. So my number 3 is one of those, Booker T.
Nice.
So that made 3 of 4.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I was stoked when Harlem Heat was at their peak. Like, that's my favorite tag team probably of all time. Is Harlem Heat. Like, I got so stoked when I was a kid and they'd come out. Just loved when they were the Harlem Heat. My number 2 is Rey Mysterio.
Nice.
Just because, I mean, he probably is the greatest cruiserweight. I mean, he's just insane. When he was in WCW doing the stuff he was so raw, so innovative, and I mean, just kind of was like the guy from a cruiserweight standpoint. Yeah. And then my number 1 is the same as John's number 1, Sting, because I mean, we were kids and he was the face.
So we had
he was the guy you had to root
and
for.
Booker T on 3 out of 4.
Yeah, Sting was the other one. Yeah. Because, I mean, he was the face of the company. He was the baby face. Like, he was the guy you were supposed to root for. He was the rogue warrior that would come out. And, when he joined the Wolfpack, it was awesome. I went as Sting for Halloween one year.
I did, too.
Me and John both did that year, I think. When we were in Davola back in 5th grade. So, like, I had to say Sting.
It's because of a reason, because he's amazing, or he was.
Yeah. If we want to throw out other honorable mentions,
yes, please.
Jericho on my shirt was
and I didn't like. Okay, so that's one of the guys who's probably should be in some podium is Jericho, but I didn't appreciate him at the time. Like he was a heel, and I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like I'm like, who's this douchebag? Like, I don't like that guy. But he played the part so well.
I was really hoping that Shawn Michaels was part of WCW, but he wasn't.
No.
We do have Glacier.
Oh my god!
You guys remember Glacier?
Oh yeah.
He dressed up kind of like Sub-Zero. He had like the armor on.
I liked him for a hot second.
Yeah,
he was like Thunder's darling. The Thunder darling.
Oh my gosh, Thunder! That's what it was.
You dressed up like Sub-Zero from The Running Man?
No, from
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Oh.
Also, one of my favorite Enziguri songs is "Where the Fuck Is Glacier."
Yeah, great song.
Great song from a great band.
Another one of mine was Ming.
Yes,
the tongue and death grip was Ming, amazing. And that dude in real life is a legend, like in terms of being like the toughest wrestler ever. Like there's some amazing Ming stories. If anybody's listening to this and want to go like read up or listen to stories about Ming. They're incredible. Like there was a time where they were at a bar and they got in a fight and he like ripped a guy's eyeball out or something like that. Like real story, like real stories about him being a badass.
Yeah, I think he was known as Haku in WWF.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was. But and then he moved over like everybody else.
I got
another one. Oh yeah, go ahead.
We got to give a mention back earlier. We mentioned Kidman, but his finisher was it the shooting star? It's
shooting
like
star press.
Okay, yeah, like where
he did a flip. He's
a backflip but going forwards.
Exactly. Yeah. He was facing the wrestler and then he would do a backflip and land. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also shout out to someone John and I have a picture with. I wish I had it on hand.
Oh my god, yes.
The big wiggle, Norman Smiley.
Norman. Yes.
Your WCW hardcore champion.
That's right. Have to mention him. Rick Steiner, Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump. They were great characters. Good wrestlers until steroids got the better of them. And then they just couldn't move anymore. Of course, Kevin Nash was great.
Yeah, Kevin Nash was way big.
Conan.
We forgot the Giant also.
The Giant was, I mean, he was the real deal at one point. Lex Luger.
Oh yeah, Lex
another
Luger.
one that's on John's shirt there.
I forgot.
I don't know if he is.
Top left, right? Or is that Benoit? Oh, that's Benoit.
That's Benoit.
DDP, who's in this
and
movie,
DDP,
and then Saturn,
yeah.
Raven, who led the flock. I think
did not like that
is
flock.
more of an ECW. No, they just started the Skank stable.
Yeah, that was the Skank stable.
Saturn and Kidman were a part of.
Yeah, hilarious. Well, that wraps up our show. I'm not sure what we're doing next week. We'll think about it. Somebody have any suggestions? That'll be great. Yeah, we'll let you know. I definitely would like to redeem and have a different kind of movie.
Maybe something on the plus Thor side.
Yeah, oh, there we go. Let's go with the classic. Yeah, let's find one on the plus Thor side. I like that.
I kind of want to do Gone in 60 Seconds after this movie.
I think it misses the mark on the Thor side, though it is Nick Cage. Maybe Pig. Just kidding. All right.
I've watched
have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night.
Have a good night, and we'll see you later. Hit that outro.
The credits roll now, the show is done. We watched the movie and had our fun. Thanks for hanging with us for so long. We'll see you next week on the Movie Podium.